So I look like a bit of a thug right now. I'm actually out because it's quite cold, and I want to make a video on exactly how I landed my first copywriting client, my very first copywriting client. And I hope this video acts as inspiration for you guys, motivation, and just gives you a bit of an insight into how I did it. So you can, follow what I did or learn from what I did. Mistakes are made and what actually worked. So rewind the clocks a little bit, and I'll tell you a little bit about how I came across copywriting, because it'll all make sense in a second. So I have to tell you this a little bit. So I used to be a personal trainer, used to train other people in the gym, and didn't really enjoy it. Well, I did enjoy it. Got a lot of satisfaction out of helping people achieve results and seeing progress, but after a while I got really frustrated with people not following my advice and essentially fell out of love with personal training. But during that time, I was doing what every other personal trainer was doing in the gym to get clients. So I was speaking to people who were in the gym, I was doing flyers, I was speaking to friends and family, all the normal stuff. And I was getting clients here and there, but it wasn't anything substantial. And I was wondering, why am I struggling? Or surely it's not this hard, right? And it was that time I joined a mastermind. It's like an online membership that was all about helping personal trainers and fitness business owners to grow their business, right? Through marketing, client acquisition, actually doing things with clients, everything was involved. So I joined this membership. I had so many trainings from different experts in there, and there was a training in there from a dude called Dan Meredith, who had a training on copywriting. And I had, at this point, had no idea what copywriting was. To me, I thought copywriting was just something you did if you wanted to copyright a product or something to do with law or something, I don't know. Anyway, I watched this video and I was hooked within the first 5 minutes of him telling me what copywriting was, how lucrative it could be, and how it applied to literally everything. So I was like, holy shit. So then I started to apply things I was learning in this mastermind to getting clients as a personal trainer. And lo and behold, getting clients suddenly became a lot easier, because I learned how to speak to clients or potential clients. I learned how to understand what they were looking for and offer them a solution they actually wanted, instead of just trying to guess, which is what most people do. They try and guess what people want, and then they wonder why no one responds to their messages or no one is interested in what they have to buy, have to sell. So I quickly became quite busy as a trainer, and it was all thanks to copywriting. Well, I think it was anyway, and good marketing. And obviously I felt like I was a good person, a good trainer to help people get results. And then, like I said, after a while, I fell out of love with personal training completely and sacked it off and went all in on copywriting. So how did I get my first copywriting client, right? And this is important. So in the beginning, I spent a lot of my time learning how to write copy, which is, why would you not do that? I spent a lot of time learning how to write good copy. I joined a course that was called an hour. What was it called? I think it was called an hour a day or something. What was it called now? Anyway, the premise of it was you would get an email sent to you every day, and you would sit and handwrite out copy. Oh, it was called the Copy Hour. That was the course. I don't know if it's still running, but over 90 days they would send you an assignment every day, and the idea was you would handwrite this successful sales piece of copy out by hand, because doing that helped psychologically for you to learn copywriting and what was working in this copy. So I'm turning around because it's a little bit windy. I'm going to walk this way, just try and shelter myself from the wind. So yeah, did that, literally absorbed everything I could about copywriting, right? And then I started to reach out to clients or potential clients, right? And there's a very important lesson here. Now, when I started copywriting and got my first client, you've heard that saying before, that your network is your net worth, right? And this is a really good example of this, because through my time in that personal trainer mastermind, I met tons of different people locally and online who were all part of similar Facebook groups or similar communities online, where like the groups I was in were like entrepreneurs, business owners, people like that hung out, right? And I joined a lot of these groups just to literally meet people and become friends with people and learn more about business and what people were doing and how they were doing things. And through my time in these Facebook groups, I got to know some people very well and started to get clients that way. I was doing free work for people to begin with. And I can remember actually when some of my free work transitioned into paid work. So the guy who actually had that training in the mastermind, Dan Meredith, I did some work for him. And a lot of it to begin with was unpaid, because I knew I could get access to his network essentially by helping him out. And his, remuneration or payment wasn't in the form of money, but it was in the form of access to his network and his friends. So through that, I met even more people, which then obviously led to more opportunities. And I can actually remember my very first piece of paid copy, and it was a sales page that I wrote for like £100, which looking back now is wildly undervalued, but you've got to start somewhere, right? And that first sales page came from this free work that I'd done. And I managed to get loads of little jobs from personal trainers and fitness business owners to start with. And I did that for about a year or so, because that's what I knew, that's where I was hanging out with people, and that's where I felt I could add the most value, right? And then things started to shift for me, and I started to look elsewhere. And my next and main client that I had for like 5 years, I think 4 or 5 years, was in the online education space. And there was a friend I met through these spaces and networks I was in. I actually met the business owners at an event, and we just got talking, and he didn't really tell me what he did, but kind of vaguely touched on it. And then we continued conversation over social media, and in the end he said he was looking for a copywriter. So I ended up jumping into his company, and we started out on like a bit of a trial doing email copywriting. So I was looking after pretty much all of his email marketing, and I was doing near enough daily emails for both his customers and his non-customers. So we were, writing in 2 different styles. And for that, it started off as like a month trial for like £1,000, I think, for a month or something like that, something ridiculous. And then from there, it slowly grew, with bonuses on top of that, depending on how well campaigns went. And I just want to bring it back full circle to the whole, your network is your net worth. So a lot of people who are inside my course, there's links below if you want to check it out, even just emails that come through, to be honest with you, there's a lot of people who are struggling to get their first client, and they're doing a lot of cold outreach, like reaching out to people on platforms like YouTube, Instagram, cold email even. And I still do this, right? I really do believe in just hustling and messaging and building relationships with people and seeing how you can add value. I really do believe that is a strong strategy for getting clients as a copywriter, in any business really. But I also believe that putting yourself in positions where you are literally surrounded by people who want your service as a copywriter is a no-brainer, and not enough people are doing it. I have actually had a few questions of people asking how to network and how to get yourself in the right place. Well, what I would do is literally ask yourself, where are your target audience hanging out? Where are these big pools of people hanging out? And yeah, you can find them on Facebook, I'm sure. You can probably find them on other platforms. Go and research Facebook groups for your niche. So if you are looking to work with, I don't know, let's just say online education providers, people who have courses, trainings, things like that, go and search for groups on Facebook for entrepreneurs, creators who would be in groups like that. Go and find on YouTube creators' YouTube channels who put out educational material, like channels like this, but in different niches, because I can guarantee they put content on their YouTube channel with the long-term goal of getting people to join whatever it is they're selling. Because that's what I'm doing. That's what everyone's doing. YouTube is a great platform to share your knowledge on, right? And I couldn't care less if you join my course or not. I'm just giving you free value on here right now. And I'm hoping the information in this video is going to give you a spark of inspiration to go out and start taking action on what I'm saying, because a lot of people will watch these videos and do nothing with the information, which is why paid courses are very beneficial. Because when you pay, you have skin in the game. When you have skin in the game, you're invested in it, and you are 10 times more likely to get the results that you've paid for, and beyond, right? So that's how I got my first client. It was very much through networking on Facebook. Right now though, I get clients in a little bit of a different way through YouTube and Instagram, which there are detailed tutorials in the course I have how to do all that, but this is kind of like the high level of what I did to get my first client. There's a lot of things that do work, so don't think that the only methods that work are in my course or anything like that, because that's not true. You just have to put yourself in a position where the people around you are your target audience, and you have a solution that solves a big problem, which is, copywriting helps solve the problem of getting better conversions, making more money for a business. It's really simple. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's simple when you know what to do. And when you have a system, a repeatable system that works, it's just like rinse and repeat, man. You just literally keep going and keep going and keep going, and you get results. There isn't really any other option. But I hope this video was useful. If you have any questions on landing clients as a copywriter, please drop them below and I'll get back to you with a response, or I'll make a video. And make sure you subscribe and like this video.